Hello, hello. Welcome to my space. I hope you are doing well. So, let's start with a message that I have for you today. The message is they will not change unless they are forced into it. So, let's talk about it. They will not change unless they have no other choice, right? This is what it means. So, you might think, that if you are more loving, more patient, more understanding, more whatever else, they will change if you show more love, if you show more whatever. This is often what happens. We think that if we put more effort into it, someone will change. And at the end of the day, what is happening, it is the total opposite. Why? Because you are carrying somebody's burden. You don't make them confront what they need to confront. And so, at the end of the day, they are not changing. Because change happens when you have no other choice. So, for example, if you were dealing with people who are very ego-driven, for example, right? Narcissistic individuals, controlling individuals, let's say, but at the end of the day, it applies to everyone, and I will also show you how it applies to you too. So, in fact, people who are ego-driven, they are pretending to be superior, they are arrogant, they are controlling, all of it. Why? Because in fact, it is a way to hide their fears, their vulnerability. They are afraid, but they don't want people to see that they are afraid. And this is why they are acting the way that they act. If you are trying to preserve them from their fear, trying to prove them harder that you love them and that you will stay there and that they never have to confront their fear, right? And think about yourself. Many people here from the collective, they tend to be people pleasers, very understanding, trying to avoid confrontation, all those kind of things. When did you have to change? If you changed, if you healed. Not when everything was good in your life, when you collapsed, when internally you couldn't deal with whatever burdens were inside of you. So some people have a physical collapse, like their body is saying stop. And some people, it is an emotional collapse. They become so sensitive to everything that they react in ways that they don't like. All those kind of behaviors, and they realize that they cannot deal with the situation anymore and that something needs to change. This is the moment when we are going through the dark night of the soul, right? So what happened with people? So very often what I want to say here, it is that when you are not coming from a place of inflated ego or ego-driven, let's say that yes, you might be a people pleaser, you might be all of those things, but you are very empathetic and you are giving your empathy so freely that, you disappear. And so there is this collapse. And then you decide, okay, things need to change. And so you might get into healing, whatever it may be, right? Because you have no problem admitting that there is an issue. You are not trying to hide your vulnerabilities, or you are trying to hide that you are afraid. You don't have your ego in the way, right? But people who are narcissistic, may it be clinical or just acting from a narcissistic place, they don't have to be a narcissist, right? But they are very protective of their They don't want people to see that they are fearful. They don't want people to see that they are vulnerable. And so, very often what happens, at a moment or another, they will go through a dark night of the soul. But at the end of the day, going through the dark night of the soul, what does it mean? It means that at a certain moment, there is a collapse. But they don't choose it, right? Because they are fighting against being seen as vulnerable. They are fighting against being authentic. Their image is very, very important. They are avoiding their own feelings, and you cannot grow and you cannot succeed in this dark night of the soul if you refuse to put your ego aside, observe your ego, and admit to your fears, admit to your vulnerability, and embrace your feelings. It doesn't happen. And very often, people who are acting in those narcissistic ways, if you have been in a relationship with someone like that, chances are that they finish the relationship with you, maybe by ghosting you. This is very often what they do. So they hope that you will be desperate for closure, and so you cannot move on, which is filling their ego. They love it, right? That you cannot move on. And they immediately jump in another relationship. Why? Because they need to appear strong. They cannot show to the world that they are vulnerable. They cannot show to the world that they are losing. It's impossible. And very often also they break up with you or they ghost you suddenly when they know that they are losing. But because they cannot accept to lose, because their ego cannot tolerate that, they are switching to something else, right? This is what's happening. Until one day everything collapses. They didn't choose for things to collapse the same way as for you. If you are an empath, a people pleaser, you might have hoped that you could continue to be your beautiful self your whole life. But internally you collapsed because you needed to collapse, because you were giving yourself totally. But when you collapse, you accepted the change. Most narcissistic people, they don't. So yes, there is a collapse. There is. So they are humbled. But what happens when they are humbled? Will they be able to turn the mirror to themselves and do real change or not? And very often it is not the case. But anyway, the phrase that I wanted to share with you today, it is that people don't change because everything is going good in their life. They change because they have no other choice. So just, if you think that loving more, giving more, being more patient, adapting yourself is helping someone heal, no, you are blocking their healing. And some people will never heal. Let's be honest about it. They can go through a dark night of the soul, a collapse, something, when we are talking about somebody narcissistic, that they are humbled by life, but it still doesn't mean that they will do the work. It happens. It's kind of rare, especially if we are talking about someone who has truly a narcissistic personality disorder. Somebody who is a little bit narcissistic, yes, they can totally, be humbled and start a healing process. It can happen. But anyway, this was the message for you today. So let's get into the cards. So first of all, my intro. So it's a group reading. It might be for you. It might be partly for you. It might not be for you. So please take what resonates, leave the rest. You are already supposed to know what we are talking about. I'm just here in order to give you a little bit more information, a little bit more insights, maybe confirmation. So listen to your intuition, right? Don't just take a story on yourself that is not yours. If I'm talking about masculine or feminine, which I am trying to avoid, sometimes I can't, it is not gender related. It is about the energy from where someone is operating, so apply it however it applies in your life, in your story. And this can be past, present, or future. So let's see what are the messages that we are getting today. Are they related to the messages that I shared with you or not? I don't know. We will see. So, what is the collective supposed to be aware of? Bad advice in reverse, bottled up, bad attitude, all in reverse, aligned in the upright, procrastination in reverse. So, bad advice in reverse, bottled up in reverse. I kind of feel that we had this card yesterday, even though it was not the same deck. Bad attitudes in the reverse, aligned in the upright, in the fourth position. I love it. We are in the position of the foundation. I love it. Procrastination in the reverse. Here we are in the choice, in the change. Maybe somebody cannot procrastinate anymore, don't want to procrastinate anymore. They got out of a state of external influence, social conditioning, bad vibes in reverse. I still want one more card. Social conditioning, bad vibes. Let's take one more. It's very interesting because we have 3 cards here with the word bad. We have bad advice, bad attitude, bad advice, bad vibes, bad attitude. The 3 of them are in reverse. Okay. Okay, listen, I kind of feel that it might be totally related to what we talked about. In the second position here, partnership, friendship, relationships to others, all of those things. It seems like somebody is going here through some kind of reaction towards people around them. Kind of feel that we might be dealing here with someone who took advice of other people. Now they realize that they followed very bad advice. And so they are getting very reactive. I kind of feel that, yeah, the bad advice came from someone outside, right? I kind of feel that this bad attitude might be related to you, my dear collective, that maybe, you know, somebody was acting very bad towards you, thinking that you have a bad attitude, maybe because they were listening to someone. I kind of feel, you know what I feel here? I will tell you exactly what I feel here. I kind of feel here that we are talking about someone who asks for advice from someone who might be very prideful, ego-driven, narcissistic, you know, like I see in my mind, what's his name? I can never find his name when I'm in the middle of the reading. You know, the alpha man, you know, that thinks that women should be this and that and that and that. The guy that went to jail because of how he was handling with women. And what's his name? Okay, I hope that you know who it is. If not, I will put his name in the text box when I remember. Tate, Andrew Tate. Okay, this is it, okay? So I kind of feel that we have here someone who, in relationship to you, have listened to someone like this Andrew Tate, you know? Like, you have to be the man, you have to be the strong one. When I'm saying the man, it's because this is what is coming up hear what I feel, but you adapt it however, right? You have to dominate. They need to be submissive to you. This is kind of what I feel, right? Somebody kind of aligned with someone who was giving them truly very, very bad advice, and now they realize that, and they are becoming extremely, extremely emotional because they might realize now how, because of this bad advice, they have had a very bad attitude. Very bad attitude. They might have not been doing anything because this person might have told them, no, don't do anything, you will see, they will come back. They will come back on 4 knees, you will see, just trust me, I know what I'm telling you. And you didn't. You didn't. So they were just, waiting, thinking that everything's cool, that you will come back, that they don't need to do anything, not realizing that, in fact, you don't want to deal with none of this behavior, right? External influence here. Someone was committed to listening to other people. Their healing relies in getting rid of this social conditioning. Thinking again about what they believe in. Is it truly your belief? Does it align with who you are? Is this the kind of person you want to be in your life, in your relationships? Or you don't trust yourself? And so you are just listening to everybody. But at the end, you are nobody because you are listening to everybody but yourself. I kind of feel here that they don't want to be this person anymore that they presented themselves to be, because I kind of feel that, maybe meeting you, they realize that they have very bad vibes because they were totally blinded. I kind of feel that we are truly talking here about a follower. Regarding these lies here at the end, this kind of tell me that this person might have awakened to the fact that they might have gotten very bad advice, that they listen to bad advice, but I kind of feel here with these lies at the end that they are not truly taking responsibility and accountability, right? They are not in this place of saying, you know what, my mistake. No, I kind of feel that they might be blaming everyone but themselves. So lying to themselves, right? In order to avoid their own responsibility here. And if they avoid their own responsibility, then there is no growth, there is no healing, there is no real transformation. There is none. So, let's see. Tell me a little bit more here about these lies. Yeah, the Fool in reverse. I love it. The Devil in reverse. Okay. So, the Fool in reverse. Yeah. They took a very stupid leap of faith in someone, right? And so they want to detach themselves of this person, the advice of this person, all of it. But it's all, like the Devil in reverse. We might be talking about healing, but here somehow with this Fool in reverse, I don't feel that it's healing. I feel like it is truly what I said, blaming the others for their own behavior. This is what I feel here. They don't want to accept their own shadows and their own darkness. They refuse to accept it. They say, I shouldn't have had faith in a particular person. They don't understand that they should listen to themselves. This is what I feel here. So, let's get into the tarot. Let's see what other information we are getting here. Oh, interesting, because I took my cards, you know, to put them to the side. I will show you what happened with the cards here. So I saw that one card was turned the other way and I was surprised. So I looked. Look. Shame. So I kind of feel that shame might be coming here, right? Yeah, this person, I kind of feel that they are trying to avoid their own shame. Shame is a very difficult feeling to deal with, right? It's very, very difficult to deal with, especially here when we are talking about someone who already is kind of not trusting themselves and fragile. And they were dealing here with the Andrew Tate that is all about pride. So, yeah. So, let's see what should the collective be aware of in this reading. Yeah. We have the Empress in reverse here, right? This might be how they treated you. They treated you as an Empress in reverse. This might also mean that we are talking here about a karmic feminine. Even though I truly feel here more that we are talking about a relationship, you know, kind of an incel listening to a Andrew Tate, something like that. Even though the incel might not be a true incel, but you know, someone in this state of mind here. So I kind of feel here more that we are talking about the person that they were listening to, taking bad advice from, painting feminines as people that you need to control. You know, it's this very toxic masculinity. Toxic masculinity. Yeah, and now this person has clarity. They see some kind of truth. This is why they cannot keep their feelings inside anymore. Because they realize that the way that this person is seeing feminine energy, once again, we might be talking about a man, but some men are truly more driven by their feminine energy. And they don't have to be gay, especially, right? Anyway, I will talk here feminine, masculine, we will make it easier, okay? So, that somebody here was judging feminine energy in a very dark light, very dark light. Someone that you need to control, the feminine has to submit, and we have here someone awakening, gaining some kind of clarity, seeing some kind of truth. Yeah, the truth about how unloving they were. This is being mean. This is being cold. This is breadcrumbing someone. Yeah, and holding on, holding on. This is very controlling here. Very controlling, trying to control you. You might have felt that you dealt with someone who was pretending to be I'm the man, but in fact, very immature. Very, very immature. The way that this person was looking at themselves and who they truly are, it was truly like, you know, two different characters. So in the beginning, you might have seen one side of them, because I guess that in the beginning they might have been love bombing and all those things, you know. In the beginning, it's truly like they are mirroring you, what they think that you want to see from them. This is a way to trap you. So you dealt with 3 different people, in fact, right? Because there was this person from the beginning, which in fact was just a mirror of yourself. They were reflecting to you what they thought you wanted to see in order to trap you. And then there was this person, you know, very authoritarian, treating you like an empress in reverse, like, I know better, listen to me, you know, I'm the king of the jungle. But you might have realized that this is not the person. And when they turned into this person, I'm the king of the jungle, you might have longed for the more soft version of them, that you might have thought that this is them. But in fact, them is not the person that they presented in the beginning, because this is just a mirror, you know? Like, they try to be your ideal self. And then they presented to you this Andrew Tate kind of person, right? And you could feel that, in fact, there was something else there. Something else. And then you might have realized that you are dealing with someone who is very emotionally mature. They were very naive. I kind of feel now that they know that they have been naive. Tell me more here. Oh, the smear campaign card. Yeah, and the moment that you decided to put an end to whatever this connection was, they try to keep you stuck. They try to keep you stuck. Here we have the Death card in reverse. So they didn't allow you to go towards your new beginning. I kind of feel here the smear campaign, which means they were trying to control you in another way, by gossiping about you, spreading lies about you, trying to manipulate the situation, trying to isolate you also. In order for no one to want to approach you, they might have said about you or painted you in such a dark light that nobody would want to approach you, but they might also have said about you that you have some kind of STD, you know, so nobody will want to sleep with you, you know, things like that, just in order to not allow you to go towards this new beginning. Very toxic. Very, very toxic. Tell me more here, please. Yeah, listen. They didn't want you to be to be able to totally release. They didn't want you to put down the burdens of the relationship or the hurt that they created. They intentionally tried to keep you stuck emotionally in order to betray you more and more and more, because they wanted you to be depressed. They wanted you to be down. This is what they wanted. They didn't want you to move forward. Listen, it cannot be clearer. They didn't want you to move forward. They wanted you to be depressed. This is what they wanted. They wanted you to be so heartbroken that you would never give any chance to anyone. I will put it this way because this is what they wanted at the end. This is what they tried to do. Can you see everything? I think that you can. Yeah, you can. Yeah, they wanted you heartbroken. They wanted you to carry their burdens. This is what they wanted. Tell me more here. What should the collective be aware of? The Hermit. Yeah, listen. I kind of feel, I wouldn't be surprised that we see the Wheel of Fortune coming out here, because I kind of feel that you are the person here that might have force them into the dark night of the soul. Doesn't mean that they will transform, right? The dark night of the soul. Oh, I love that. Can you hear? Yes, you can hear. I'm sure you can hear. Where is my cat? Ah, she's sleeping in the room. Okay, everything is good. So, listen, I kind of feel here that you are the one that brought them into, you humbled them, right? You humbled them because you might have truly tried to understand them. Put energy in trying to know what is going on here, what is wrong here. And so, all this behavior that they were presenting to you with those manipulation and wanting to win at all cost and dominate you, it didn't work on you. It didn't work because you saw it and because you were more about trying to understand what's going on. Maybe you truly wanted to help them, you know, and then we are going back. We are going back to what I said in the beginning. That you thought that maybe if you could understand what is the issue, you could help them heal. And so you might have told them, listen, I see this and that and that and that, I give you this information, it can help you grow. And they might have taken it the very, very wrong way. They might have felt naked, vulnerable, because you can see them. It's the worst thing that can happen to them. Because it doesn't matter that you might be a very safe person. You might have thought, you know, you can be vulnerable with me. I won't betray you. I won't. But it doesn't matter. Because they don't feel safe. It has nothing to do with you. They don't. And so I kind of feel here that you might have truly wanted to understand what's going on in order to help them. But then their manipulations didn't work. And while you were trying to help them, thinking, I am safe, I will give you clues because I see things that can help you grow, their intention was not to grow. It was to protect their ego. They didn't want you to see them as weak. Like, how dare you see my weakness? How dare you see my vulnerability? Because you might be the safest person. If they don't feel safe, they don't feel safe. That's just... Let's see what else. What did I just say? What did I just say? The Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune. Listen, I don't know if this person chose you or if you chose this person. I don't know how the meeting occurred. I don't know. But I kind of feel that this was fated. It was like you might be the person who is humbling them and awakening them. What they will do with it, we don't know. We don't know. Yeah, they really thought that they could stand on the side, and because they are the king of the jungle, you will come back. It didn't happen. This is the collapse. This is the humiliation. And let me remind you that the person that is watching all of this, right? Who is this Andrew Tate? There is no other way to describe him as a narcissist, if not a psychopath, a sociopath, but at least a narcissist, right? So this person cannot accept the humiliation also. No, if it didn't work, it is because of you, right? Because they waited for their ships to come in, treating you like shit, and thinking that because they manipulated the situation in such a way, you will come back. You did not. And this is where they are humbled. What they will do with it, we don't know. From what I see here, they are still trying to escape. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. I kind of feel now that what they're doing, instead of healing, the star is in reverse, they are not healing. They are not following their soul path. It's not what's happening. They are trying to drown themselves into work. Something else that can make them proud of themselves. This is what they are doing. They want to regain some kind of pride. And maybe they are good at their work. Or maybe they think that if they can, you know, bring you some kind of present or impress you with their material worth, then you will surrender, you know, becoming this king of the jungle. Yeah, this is what I feel here. Sorry, I will move those cards because I want to put the star there, because she is dressed as she was born. And even though it is a drawing, sometimes... Okay, not healing at all, trying to rebuild their pride in some kind of other way, with money, plunging into work. They are plunging into work, truly. There is no healing, there is no growth, there is no confrontation. Yeah, they are fighting against the truth. They are fighting against the truth. They know. They see something. They see. But they are fighting. They are competing against the truth. This is why we have the lies here. And you might represent this Queen of Swords, because we have the Queen of Swords here talking about a lot of clarity. This is a energy of someone who see things very clearly and say things very clearly. The Queen of Swords is in the upright here, so it means that justice is very important for you. You are not talking in order to hurt anyone. You are talking in order to be in alignment. You are not... you might be talking in a little bit of a cold way, because you are using your words in order for them to reflect the truth, which is exactly what you are supposed to do. But they are competing against that. They have a very hard time to accept the truth. They don't. They don't accept it. I kind of feel, you know, that it's more important for them to impress this stupid Andrew Tate character, you know? Whoever it is. It might be a brother, it might be a friend, it might be a father, it might be a cult leader. Do I know? Yeah, the cult leader. Look. The cult leader. They're corrupted. Someone pretending to be something, some kind of teacher. They are corrupted. They are selfish. Whatever they are teaching, it's only serving them. This is what it is. Yeah, they don't accept their loss. They don't. But I kind of feel that there is also this person there that in fact they take it personally. This loss that has nothing to do with them. It is a third wheel. Totally. They shouldn't be in this story at all. Especially if we are talking about a romantic relationship. Romantic relationship, it is two souls. It is truly the mirror of two souls. What is a third party putting here? But it might be that your partner, your ex-partner, or what, the person that was supposed to become your partner, that they brought this person in, you know. But anyway, we have here a third party. A dark person, very controlling, my way or the highway, don't question my beliefs, I know what I'm saying, just follow what I'm saying. Yeah, and I kind of feel that this person is afraid of falling from grace. They are trying to save their ass. This is what I feel, because we might be talking here about some kind of Andrew Tate, right? That is influencing a whole group of people. And so if suddenly they can lose, how do we say that? Lose influence, lose faith. If one of their students who has followed their advice is not succeeding, it's a total collapse. It is a collapse for this person. This is what I feel here. With this Six of Wands, they are afraid of other people seeing what's going on here. That they are not someone to follow, not someone to listen. They have no knowledge, they have no understanding, they have nothing. They don't. Let's see. Oh la la, listen. At the end of the day, you know what? You thought that you were in a relationship with someone. In fact, you were. This is you, this is them. Right? You were not in the relationship with the person that you thought that you were in a relationship with. You were in a relationship with this Hierophant in reverse. This is the person who was driving. The other one was just a pawn in the game there. But I guess that they didn't. You know what? Maybe they did. I wanted to say, I don't think that they realized that they were dealing here with a high priestess. Someone who has knowledge, who doesn't say a lot, but they see everything. They see what is not said. Because they have a lot of knowledge, a lot of intuition also. So I wanted to say this person didn't realize, but maybe they did realize. And they were afraid of losing their status in all their group here. And this is why they needed you gone. They needed you gone. Yeah, look, they were afraid of losing their whole group to you. Because you are truly an inspiration. You are living in authenticity. And so now they cannot release. They cannot release because they know that they are losing face. They don't care about the person here with who you were in a relationship. I'm saying relationship like this because I don't know if it is an ex, it is not an ex, what's going on there, right? I don't know. Everyone his story. But yeah, he is afraid that all the people that were with them will leave towards you. This is what is happening here. Yeah. Yeah, they are trying to block that. They are trying to block that. Because they are desperate. They know that people see how miserable they are, in fact. You know, it's the kind of person that can give advice to men about how to treat a woman when there is not one woman that is in their environment that is happy, that wants to stay. Maybe they have no other choice to stay because this person is so dangerous and corrupted that they have no other choice but to stay. But happy they are not. You know? Maybe people are starting to see that, you know, what are we listening to this person? Yeah, you are stable. You are stable, you are happy. And they are dependent on all those people. They need all those people. The cycle is over. The World card. I'm hiding because she's undressed. The cycle is over. All they have done, it is go against lovers. This is what they have done. They had destroyed love. And people want true love now. People stop and think about what is going on there, and they realize that they followed a very, very bad judgment. A judgment that kept them stuck. It kept them stuck. Because this person here was acting out of jealousy, of ego, of control, not of confidence. It's fake confidence. There is no confidence there. Yeah, there is a rapid movement here. And now they are playing the victim. Someone is playing the victim in some kind of situation because they are very unhappy. Yeah. They have turned everyone into players. This is what they have done. Why? Financial reasons. They didn't care about the family, the community, love. They didn't care about none of it. They wanted the money. And they would have said anything in order to have the money. Destroying communities, destroying families, destroying everything. But now they are losing everything because the truth is coming out. People are not blinded anymore. People are not blinded anymore. They are realigning with love, with honesty, with good relationships. They want now to invest truly. Take the lead. Have a new beginning. Built on faith, not on fear. Yeah, I will end it here. I think that we have a clear vision of what's going on here. I hope that it was insightful. I wish you a beautiful week. Right now we are Monday. I don't know, this is a timeless reading, but I don't know when you are watching this, but right now it is Monday. I wish you a beautiful day, afternoon, evening, week. I'll see you in the comments till very, very soon. Bye.